Can you not win games due to the fact that you always die off spawn? And this video is for you. In today's video, we're going to show you 3 off spawns, starting only contested by 1 player to be contested by many players. And make sure to watch to the end because I'll explaining everything going on through my head and how you can win every off spawn game in Fortnite. Alright, so let's start off with my lightest game where I wasn't contested till a little bit after. Now the first thing you should do is determine where you're going on the map, and once you do that, you need to perfect your drop spot to almost every location from different angled battle buses, so that you can win every drop spot off spawn. The next thing you need to do is look around while gliding in the air to see if anyone is contesting you at your drop or your POI, and if anyone is going to contest you for the house and just where they're landing in general. Using this information, you'll be able to play your off spawn a lot more safe and just overall have less deaths right off the start. So the next thing you want to do off spawn is get enough loot so that if you get in a fight, you have enough ammo, mats, heals, etc. to fight. But if you are contested right off spawn, try and get just enough health and a good enough weapon to keep them right off the start, but smart. Also, almost every player at the beginning of the game is going to be either playing really dumb or just trying to get in your face with a weapon, because that is what they think is the easiest way to kill you. So by looting up and grabbing a little extra compared to your opponents, you can actually beat them off spawn and then continue fighting without feeling any major effects. In this game, I noticed that one person landed at the main building in Demon's Dojo, so I decided to chill and loot up as no one landed behind me and I had time to do so. So I got heals, mats, and ammo so that I would be prepared to fight. I then went to the main building to fight him but couldn't find him. Now this is where you need to make a decision, and this decision can be the deciding factor for if you live or you die in your Fortnite match. As you can see, no one was actually in the POI, but as I was looking around at the buildings further outside the POI, I saw the exact same skin that landed at the main building. This meant that there was my one and only opponent I had to fight in order to get really good loot and head into mid game. So I just sat here looking at him until he stood still and I got one hell of a beam on him. So then I decided to push, clean up the fight, and I somehow just shot through his walls and cleaned up a free kill. But also right before I pushed him, I noticed that there was a kid in the background, so I knew if I didn't finish this fight fast, I would most likely get third party. Anyways, I saw the other kid and got a good beam on him. Now I could have just pushed him, but I decided to go to the other side of the mountain to catch him off guard. So I teleported, started running up the top of the mountain, and what do you know, he was right there. I then landed a shot and he basically just gave up or ran out of mats because he wasn't building at all. I then went on to place 20th in this match and got 4 kills, so my rank went up a little, and that is all because I stayed alive off spawn. There's my first game off spawn. So now let's head into a game that was a little more contested and harder to fight right off the bat because I didn't have as much time to loot up. So in this match I was contested by 2 players, but I had a short drop and got lucky enough to get an AR right off spawn so I could beam this kid out the air. Remember, if you get a gun first, you always want to get opening damage so that you can have the advantage at the start of the fight. But in this scenario, I just beamed him and killed him before he even landed. And here's where looking around is very important because this kid should have not gone near where I was going. He probably didn't see me or use good awareness, and it ultimately led to him getting cooked off spawn and ruining his whole game. Now, I did have a little break in between that beam and my next fight, so I looted up, got some extra mats, went underground, and got movement and healed. I then heard footsteps above me, so I started to crouch around so that he wouldn't know my exact location. I kept repositioning to keep him on his toes, and he didn't know where I was, so I had the upper hand. He jumped down thinking I was on the lower left of him, and by doing that, I got a free tap. He then freaked out and started to box up, but I knew that since I was above him and a ramp was going into his box, if I timed it right, I could jump down, break the wall, and slide in and get the last damage I needed to finish this fight. Now here, I don't have as a perspective, but in all honesty, if you don't know where the player is, I would back up and just go nowhere near that area, because then you know where you are coming from, but you don't know where they are. Now, no hate or anything to this guy, because I started crouching so early, he might have thought I stayed in the same spot or I was moving around just on a lower level. But once again, don't go into fights in the unknown, as the other player probably has the advantage over you. This game I played out and I got a 3rd place with 10 kills, and I went up 20% from it. And now, the 3rd game and final game. Now this is one of the most contested, and here's what happened. I saw that multiple people were going to land right near me or really close to me, so I decided to land on a weapon that was out in the open. I then saw a kid looking at me through the fence, so he broke the fence and I won the aim duel. I then decided to loot up and heal so that I could be prepared for the next fight, and what do you know, some kid came out of nowhere and he thought I didn't see him, but I actually did. He should have beamed me and got more entry damage, but I can also see his side of trying to catch me off guard and get more damage. Anyways, I played this fight dumb, just got in his face and barely won the aim duel. I then decided to loot up and heal again, and I got prepared for my mid-game fights, and surprisingly there was not that many players left in the game after I finished my first 2 fights, and not anyone else in the POI basically. I then died later in that game, like 2 minutes after those first two fights, in the same POI because I was not aware, and I was also working on a thing off to the side on my right screen because I just got dual monitors today, so I just kind of messed up. And real quick before I tell you some insane tips to help you win every off spawn game with ease, please leave a like if you liked the video so far, and also comment down off spawn if you have made it to this point in the video. Alright, let's hop right back into it. Now I'm going to give you some tips on how to survive off spawn in Fortnite. Number 1, choose your landing landing spot wisely. The first few seconds of the match are super important. Where you land can make a big difference between starting strong or getting eliminated right away. And you should try landing in places where not too many people go. Instead of going to big POIs, you should pick smaller, quieter places where you can loot in peace and just survive off spawn. Before you jump out of the battle bus, check where it's going, try to pick a spot firm from its path so fewer players are around. When you do land, make sure you're the first one there so you can grab the loot before anyone else, either off spawn loot or chests. And if you know where all the loot is in your area, like chests and ammo boxes, you'll have a way easier time gearing up. That's why I say make drop maps and looting rotations so you know where to go and how to loot up. Landing in the right spot sets you up for success, so don't rush your choice. Alright, number 2 tip is prioritizing loot efficiently. Once you land, your first job is to grab gear as fast as you can. The faster you get weapons and shields, the safer you'll be. Always grab a weapon first, even a pistol is better than being unarmed. After that, look for shields like minis or big pots because even a little shield can save you in a fight right off spawn. Try to have a mix of weapons so you're ready for fight. A shotgun is great for close range, an AR and SMG works for mid and long range, and when you're looting, break stuff like walls and furniture to get materials for building. You don't need a ton, but a few builds can save you if someone attacks you out of nowhere. And finally, keep an eye out for items like movement, like the blades and or the void masks. These can help you escape if something goes south, and good looting means you're ready to fight or run when you need to. Number 3, master early game fight. Sometimes no matter how careful you are, you'll have to fight off spawn. If that happens, don't panic. Use cover like walls or trees to protect yourself while shooting at your enemy. Never stand out in the open because you'll get beamed and it's way too easy to hit. And if you see your opponent is on low health or doesn't have a weapon, push them quickly to finish the fight. Don't let them heal or grab loot. Try to stay above your opponent by building ramps or finding high ground because being higher gives you an advantage and you can ultimately just fry your opponents. Also, Fortnite has great sound effects, so listen closely. Footsteps can tell you where your enemies are, like I showed you in previous examples, and chest sounds help you find loot faster. So stay calm and don't spam your builds or shots. A cool head wins fights. Number 4, be aware of your surroundings. Like I said in the second match, knowing what's going on around you is super important. When you're landing, looking around and to see where other players are going. This helps you avoid surprise attacks. Pay attention to sounds like footsteps or gunshots once again, so you know if someone's nearby. And use a mini-map to see where the loot is or where the storm is moving. Also, watch the kill feed. It can tell you how many players might be in your area before running into open spaces. And check for enemies hiding or waiting to ambush you. Always use cover and be sneaky when moving through buildings. Once again, if you don't know where the player is, don't go in that area and don't fight him, please. And being aware of your surroundings keeps you one step ahead of everyone else, so you ultimately will win your fights. And 5, know when to fight or flee. Not every fight is worth it, and sometimes running away is a smarter move. If your gear is bad, or your weapons are bad, or even you have no heals or mats, it's better to avoid fights until you're ready to fight. Don't feel bad about retreating, it's all about staying alive. It's not about getting that free kill. If the player you're up against seems really good or has better loot, it's okay to back off and find another spot to loot. Use items to absolutely teleport out of there, and you need to escape if you're in trouble. If you hear 2 players fighting, wait until they're weak or one is eliminated before jumping in. This is called third partying, and it's a great way to get easy eliminations. Remember, Fortnite is about surviving, not just getting kills. Stay smart and you'll make it to the late game more often. Also, I recommend watching pros off spawns because most pros have good off spawns, and they've literally claimed POIs that no one will contest them by because the players know how good their off spawn is. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. And once again, if you did enjoy, send the video to a friend you think needs to know how to fight off spawn and or win more off spawn games because they're absolutely selling your elo. And if you guys want to support me, make sure to use code NOTFLOW in the Fortnite item shop as it helps me out a lot. And once again, I just want to thank you guys so much for making my dreams come possible, and it literally wouldn't happen without you guys. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Go watch some of my other videos to help support me even more, and go play my creative maps that I just made. Anyways, I love you guys. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, guys.